Understanding the Syrian Crisis. As the Syrian crisis escalates and the chance of international intervention rises, we must keep the plight of the Syrian people in our minds. In light of the recent decision by the House of Commons to not enter a war in Syria before any ruling by the UN, the opinions of British people and people from all over the world are divided. On one side, after reports of use of chemical weapons by the Syrian government, many feel that foreign governments must intervene. On the other side, people see recent wars in the Middle East as a precedent. War is unwinnable. The People's Republic of China, Russia, and Iran all support Assad's government, and a war with Syria would seriously damage already frail relations. Many also believe that the addition of more weapons and soldiers to an area filled with them already will do no good, and while intentions are good, the rebels are also guilty of heinous crimes against the Syrian people. Understanding the conflict in Syria can be hard. For decades, a military dictatorship run by a minority Islamic sect, the Alawites, ran the country, with the support of the Christian minority who fear a Sunni Muslim regime that would oppress them. As Iran is a Shiite country, Syria also receives support from them. Feat.LaTlateh died in 2000, and his son, seen as weak and incompetent, Bashar al-Assad, came into power. In 2011, the Arab Spring protests shake the Arab world. The Syrian government was terrified and killed protesters, inflaming the middle grounders. The internet was cut off, and hundreds of thousands, now millions, fled the country, mostly to Turkey. Rebel armies then formed, made up of civilians, defectors, and jihadists who wished to impose Salafist rule on the country. War is not black and white, and in addition to the atrocities committed by the Syrian government, rebel forces have executed those they suspected of collaborating with the regime. It is hard to really process these facts, and a lot of the time we seem to just forget about it and shove any ugliness under the rug. These are people that have dreams, aspirations, and loved ones, which is the side we rarely see on the news. We see the horror and the statistics, but not the true feeling amongst the people. It seems that any attempt to understand or relate to these people is washed away in a sea of tragic bloodshed. I have been searching for a long time for musicians from Syria, and I have finally found one that captures the feeling of desperation and disaster. This is Feat.LaTlateh, a jazz hip-hop group from Damascus. You don't need to understand the language to understand the pain and frustration in the song. The future does not seem bright. War looks certain to continue, with almost definite foreign intervention. Afterwards, it seems likely that a Salafist regime will be established by those who some citizens in the USA and UK would like to support. With all of this violence, politics and extremism, one must not forget those who suffer the most, the Syrian people. While it is extremely debatable as to whether or not foreign governments should intervene, the necessity of support of charities is undeniable. Please give generously to Syria Relief, who help anyone irrespective of religious or political beliefs. To see this feature and listen to the great hip-hop music that Luke recommends, go to www.stpaulslifestyle.com and search Syria. Thanks.